Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I am crafting some more with the Spellbinders June club kits. I'm starting off with the 3D embossing folder. Now Spellbinders has actually two embossing folder club kits each month. One is the 3D version and the other is the more standard embossing folder. They are both this nice large size, 5.5 by 8.5. The difference between the two is with the 3D embossing folder, you'll find that it's more dimensional. And so it's actually a little bit thicker, and the sandwich combination that you need to run it through if you're using the universal plate system is going to be just that A base plate and the D plate on top of it. I'm doing a bit of faux letterpressing where I've inked up the folder with white pigment ink, and because it's a pigment ink, it'll be opaque. And so when you dry emboss over a solid color cardstock panel like I've done, you'll still be able to see that white, and it'll be a little, it'll have a little bit of that distressed look to it, which I really like. Here I've got the clear stamp of the month, and with the Stamp of the Month Club, you do have the option of getting the coordinating dies with it. And what I noticed after my initial unboxing video, so I didn't mention it in that, but what I noticed was that a lot of the stamped sentiments actually will fit onto this, it's sort of like a wood plank die cut that you can get from the small die of the month, which is really great. It's got a lot of different options, that little sign post there, because the small die of the month has two debossing sentiment plates included. And then on top of that, the two debossing plates that come with your large die of the month, which shown right now, also will fit onto that plank. And as well, you have a lot of the stamp sentiments from the clear stamp of the month fitting in there too. So it's really, really lovely. All of the monthly club kits for this month, well, not all of them. I believe the card kit might be a little bit differently themed, but all of the ones that I got anyhow are really kind of all themed towards water, ocean, and so many of them interact really, really well with each other, both in terms of scale, but also how they've been designed so that they can actually fit and give you more options for using them if you do get multiple kits. And if you are looking at possibly subscribing to multiple different club kits, definitely check out the value kits where you can get multiples bundled together. There's a lot of different configurations just depending on what you're most interested in. And if you find a configuration that has all of the ones that you are most interested in, usually what you'll find is you can get a better price on those if you subscribe to them as a bundle as opposed to as individual subscriptions. So just check that out. And for this month in particular, I really feel like so many of the kits work so well together. And what I'm doing here is I did die cut out of vellum using one of the arched nested shape dies that Spellbinders has, and I'm going to create a little bit of a scene inside there. I am using a couple of different elements from both the large die of the month as well as the small die of the month. And that's what I mean by how these different sets coordinate really well together in terms of scale, because some of the plant life that I am using. Some of it comes from the large die of the month, and a couple pieces come from the small die of the month. And later I'm going to add some jellyfish to this as well, and that came from the small die of the month. And you'll find that everything really coordinates pretty well scale-wise to where it makes a bit of logical sense to be used on the same scene together. And so really, really fun to have all of these different elements. And of course, if you're only picking up, a single kit, you're going to have so many options to craft with it. But when you have, I think in particular with this month, if you're getting multiples, it's going to really help you to stretch your supplies, because it just gives you so many more options for how to use these different kits in combination with each other. So I really feel like Spellbinders, they do such a fantastic job every month, but boy, I really feel like they hit it out of the park this month. I'm loving crafting with them. And it's just a lot of fun. And I think one of the reasons why I'm particularly enamored by this month's kits is because I just don't have a lot of water themed things in my stash. So I am a little bit biased because anytime I'm getting something that's a little bit new to me and fills a bit of a gap in terms of what I already have, I'm really, really excited. But in particular, I just love the fact that there's just so many elements. And with the small die of the month that you see here, I'm just smaller elements. The main element was the dancing octopus, but you can see that there's a lot that you can get out of each individual set. And when you do have multiples of them, it's really fun how well they all play together, and just helps you to kind of stretch your supplies a little bit more. The jellyfish that I am assembling here, I've die cut out of a couple of different colors, and I'm gonna mix and match them. So they're on the single die plate. When you run that through, you'll get 3 pieces to your jellyfish, and it is designed so that you can actually make this a dancing jellyfish if you want it, which I think would be really cute. You can hang the tentacles because it's got that ring, that donut as I like to call it, and you can hang that on a bit of foam, like a little circle foam dot, and have that swing back and forth. I'm not actually going to exercise the option to do that, but instead I'll just assemble these flat and just use them as static elements on my card here. But definitely that's an option. And so again, that's one of those things where with the octopus as well, you can decide how you want to use it. You don't necessarily have to make an interactive card, even though it's been designed that way. It just gives you more options. So what I'll do is instead just put a little bit of 3D glue gel there. I get asked a lot what that glue is. It's by Kalal. I have a link to it in my standard list of supplies, and it's just a very thick glue that when you buy it as part of a kit, it does come with the syringe. And so you just squeeze out a blob and you put your elements on top there, and it just helps you to give that little bit of lift, and is really great for small elements too, or when you're attaching things to an uneven surface. And as I was building up my scene, I did glue down my vellum just where I knew I was placing some of those more solid objects. And that's one way that you can hide your glue and prevent it from showing through when you are gluing down vellum. So because I added so many different elements, I had a lot of different opportunities to really make sure I could stick that vellum down securely and still hide it from view. I hope that you liked this card today, and if you're curious about any of the products I used, I'll leave links to them in the description box below. Thanks so much, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye!